does the relationship between the person arrested and the accuser affect a criminal case? Well, in a battery case, that's where an unlawful touching, either punch somebody, poke somebody, it's where anytime anybody's touched where they don't want to be. The relationship, the way it affects the case is, in a battery case, is it changes a battery to a domestic violence because of the relationship. So if it's a wife, former spouse, live together or dating, then you're going to end up in the domestic violence category. If it's somebody you're in a bar that you don't know and you fight them, you're in the battery category. Why does it matter? Because on a battery charge, that one can be sealed. So if you end up with probation, found guilty, and you get a withhold of adjudication, you can seal the record. Domestic violence, you cannot. That has to be dropped and then you can expunge it. If you seal the record for 10 years, then you can expunge it. But the relationship where you have a familial relationship, father-son, mother-daughter, that's going to make it domestic and make it much worse. They're both crimes of violence, but that's an issue. The other way it affects you is, what is that relationship like? So if you get in a bar fight and the guy doesn't know you, maybe he doesn't care as much about the fight and he's like, yeah, I did it as bad as you. When you get into domestic violence situations, you have a different dynamic, a different relationship, and you have harsh feelings and betrayal. So in a domestic violence case, you might have an alleged victim, a wife that says, hey, I want a divorce or I want custody of the kids, and now they're going to use the criminal case to try and reach that goal and get custody of the children. And so they're going to be much more aggressive on getting you convicted and wanting the prosecutor to go after you. In a bar fight, let's say nobody's injured, nobody's hurt, and you're like, whatever, I don't want to go to court, I don't want to keep fighting this, let the guy have diversion, let the guy have probation, or I'm not going to show up for the trial. Here, that could happen too. You could have a wife who says, oh, I love him, I want him back, and all we were doing is arguing, and the neighbors called the police. I didn't want him arrested, and I don't want him convicted. So that way the domestic violence case could help you even more, because she can go down, sign a waiver, and drop the charges against you, or he could sign the waiver, depending on who the alleged victim is. And so the relationship can matter because it can make the case easier to handle or more difficult. So that's how your relationship, whether blood, living together, not knowing each other, and the alleged victim's attitude towards the case and how they want it resolved can affect a battery charge or any case, because really the victims always have a say in the case. But specifically in a battery, that's how the relationship affects it.